Hello everyone, welcome to Paper Wheel Studio. My name is Miriam. I welcome you to my channel today. I am following along with the ABC April Challenge with Tony and Margaret. Margaret's from Seven Plaza and Tony is from Crafting by Tony. And today is the letter S. Along with that, I'm doing the 100-day project. I've lost track of what day I'm on. I'm somewhere in the 40s, maybe 45, 44, somewhere in that area. I have brought with me today all of my Distress Oxide sprays. I have ground espresso. I have, I believe, walnut stain. I have speckled egg. I have frayed burlap. I have tea dye, and I think the other one is bundled sage. Still got some of my packing on here. Some of these are brand new. I've not even sprayed them out of the bottle yet, so might even start to use them in the sprayer. Doesn't work. Who knows? Not usually a problem with these. However, we never know, right? And then I have, are we ready? The Distress Spritz. I've got weathered wood. Get my hands on it up here. I have antique linen. And I have walnut stain. And then I have a Nuvo mica mist. And it is a green, emerald green with some shimmering things in it that we may try as well. Now, I'm going to right up front tell you I don't have a lot of strength in these by thumb and my first finger. So I'm going to do the best I can with my spritzing. I may end up putting some down on, I brought my stamp press along, but it's I believe it's very strong acrylic on top, which makes a nice thing to kind of squirt some things on and maybe use a brush with it. So I do have a couple brushes here. They're more like stencil brushes, and I have this one, and I have a larger one if I happen to need it, which you can kind of see up in the corner right over here that I can reach if I need it. So we're just going to play with these spritzes and sprays and see what kind of effects it'll have on a lot of different items that I have here to my side. I'm going to start with, I have two cards two playing cards. They're old made cards from when I was a kid, believe it or not. And I will be 16 in October, so they've been around a while. I had two of them here. Let me see if I can, yeah, the other one's clear on the bottom. So I'm going to start with those. They already have a tissue base. So I'm going to just put some things down here and see what I can do to grunge them up or make them look different or something like that. I also brought along some textured stamps. I have this one. Again, I've not used it, so I really don't know how it'll turn out. But I'm going to give it a try. And I have, I'll get rid of the clear acrylic piece that I really don't need there. And I have this one, which is kind of a cross between texture and paint circle of some kind, maybe. And then I have my smaller textured stamps, which are these. These are all stamps that I have picked up from Temu. If you don't shop there, I know there are a lot of different ones, both on Amazon, Tim Holtz. And I'm not going to worry about taking these off of the backing, because when I have a large one like this, I can just ink it up and stamp it. I don't usually stamp the whole thing. I stamp it partially or spritz it partially. So, I'm just going to try some different things. And I think with Mr. Pluto here, I'm going to try just simply spraying some of the Distress Oxide onto the stencil see what it will look like if I can get it to go down on Mr. Pluto here and see what we can make it look like. All right. Of course, the lids are going to be stuck on there. Didn't think to loosen them ahead of time. But when that happens, I use my handy dandy little scissors and just pop off the top. Let's get that off there. That's driving me bonkers. Ah! Don't do that because I just got blue all over my... It's a good thing I had this down. And I have no gloves on today either. So if it bothers you to get this on your hands, then wear gloves. If not, no worries. Just, so let's just take advantage of my splatters here. Let's just press old Pluto down there and see what we get. We should pick up some of that. Yeah. We got that. Gave him a little bit there, didn't it? Wonder why that didn't come through that. I think it's because it's very similar in color and that's why it's not going down very well. So that's probably not a good one to use on that. I'm going to keep my paper towels that I'm using underneath here because they will be really good bits to use in clusters. I guess that's what I'm thinking of. Let's see what happens if we do that. Yeah, that just gives it a little bit there, not much. Yeah. We're getting a little here and there, which I don't mind. But I also want different colors here. So again, I'm going to clean up my bit of a spill here. And yeah, that's just... When I get all done, I'll take these into my bathroom sink and clean them all up. I'm planning on taking those apart, but man, it's coming right apart. Let's just go ahead and pull it off there. It might be easier for me to use like that. Then I can get rid of all this excess blue paint on here. Crazy. Even that piece looks like a really cool piece of acetate that if you had something else to store your stamps in, that would be really cool to use on something like even in a Halloween journal, wouldn't it? All right. Quit thinking, Miriam, and get working. All right. So I have this big thingy. And since I just happen to have my stamp thing here, we're going to take advantage of it. And let's see what we could do here. I think with this stamp, I'm going to turn this sideways so it'll be a little bit easier for me to use. And I want Mr. Pluto in here. If you have a stamp press, it's so much easier if you're doing cards or something like that to use. Okay, I think for this one, I have my walnut stain ink out here, but I don't know, I'm torn. Do I want to use something like tea dye so it's not so dark? Let's try, let's do this. Let's try putting this on here. And it just sticks right in the right places. Doesn't have to be perfect for what I'm doing. If you're doing a card or something, you would definitely want to make sure you had it lined up good. And I'm going to make sure these things are shook up good, because you have to see how they're separated, two different colors at the top and bottom. You really got to shake these up when you go to use them, because they do settle. And your oxide, give that chalky look to your sprays. I really, honestly, I don't know a lot about them, only from what I watched on other videos and things. So other than when you add water to it, you will get different effects. And I have one of those bracelets on because I'm having some surgery next week and had to go get some blood work done. So I forgot to take my bracelet off when I got home. Alrighty. Let's pop this top off. Oh, it's already started there. We don't even have to do too much at all. There we go. And then I'm just going to spray my stamp here. Get it going. Just lightly spraying my stamp. I think I will give it one more squirt up here towards the top. And I'm just going to fold that over on Mr. Pluto and see how he turns out. I believe I did use some Mod Podge on these when I made them, so I'm not sure if the Distress sprays will stick to it. But we'll give it a shot and see how it goes. So, just going to stick that down there and we'll see what we have when we pull it back up. We have absolutely nothing again. And you know what I think? I think it's because of Mod Podge. So let's lay him to the side. Obviously, that's not going to work if you use Mod Podge to glue your tissue paper down. So we'd have to use the inking, stamp inking, perhaps, for that. Let's try this one. This is Thumper. I'm going to give it a spray with the, try some ground espresso with that tea dye on Mr. Thumper and see how that might turn out. I use Mod Podge with him as well, but this, I don't think it was actually brown tissue paper that I used to cover this. I think it was brown napkin, perhaps, like one of those McDonald's or Burger King napkins that you get that's brown. I think that's what I covered this with, but I'm not 100% sure. You know, when you make so many things and you're in your craft room every day, it's hard to remember how you do some things. And again, I have not used the ground espresso, so let's just see if I can get it to spray on here. Oh, there was a spray, maybe. Did again I come out? I don't think so. Maybe. Okay, here we go. Okay. Let's see what happens if we just put this down and see what sticks. Just want to press it down real good. Make sure it's pressed down good so it'll hit your card. I don't think it's getting on my card, guys. We're going to do this. Let's try this. Put the card on the stamp. When all else fails, put the card right on the stamp. Aha! We got some there. So, I don't like that it's... Oh, that's going to be too dark. Oh no, look what I've done. Wow. I have just obliterated Thumper on here. I don't know if I can come back with a wipey. Bag on it. I really didn't think it would do that. Be that dark. Okay. It's wiping off some. But failure. So likely I will end up just painting over Mr. Thumper and using that as a basis for a card. Oh well. That's what happens when you experiment, right? Okay, let's try one of my brown little bag envelopes here. These are like a little policy envelope. Let's see what happens if we would simply try this. See what we get. Ooh, now I like that. Cool. Well, let's just go ahead and finish off this whole side like that. Ooh, looky there. That is really cool. I like it. I do like it. And see how the oxide from the tea dye is giving it that little white bit look? That's from the tea dye that's on here. Yeah. Okay. That turned out really cool. And we could even come along with more sprays and spray on there. I think we've about absorbed what we're going to. So I thought I brought along some just tea bags that I thought I could use them as well. They are already coffee dyed. So let me grab them here. And let's just use one of these to pick up this extra ink that I got on here. And just kind of press it down in here to kind of clean up some ink. And it'll take whatever ink it can take. And see how it looks when we get done. Oh, that's pretty cool. It gives it that splotchy-like look. And I like that. So let's just finish wiping this off. And we'll go with something else. I hope I brought along enough wipes here because this is messy stuff. Okay. Lay this off to the side. Well, actually, I think I'm going to do a couple more tea bags with it. Let's try it with just the walnut stain ink. And since we had a little issue with Mr. Thumper there, I'm going to try it, and then I'm going to use it on my tea bag here. Doesn't look very dark. And don't follow my example with how to take care of your stamps and your sprays and stuff, because I don't think I follow the exact guidelines, but I just craft and see what comes out. Alright, so we'll put this one. I don't remember what side I did it on, but really won't matter since it kind of makes it like see-through. Let's put that on there and just kind of press around, see what it picks up. Alright, so that made it look a little dingier. Can you see in the background how it picked up the wrinkly bits? So that is pretty cool. I think what I'm going to do now, let's take something different. Why don't we? Let's use a little frayed burlap and just give it a little spray. There's no definite plan here, folks. It's just spray and ink and spritz and see what comes out in the end. Oop. I got a lid under there. Keep all my spray lids here to the back so they don't fall on the floor. There we go. Okay. And we'll use a little bit of this frayed burlap, which gives it kind of a green look, but let me shake it up. All right, pop the top, and we'll see what we come up with. And we might try one of the spritzes on there or on another one to see what kind of technique we get. Well, that one went to the floor. Oops. Oh well, we're good. Okay, I want this to be flat, so I'm going to put it on this side because I don't know if that side eventually will stain from the inks or not, but we're going to put it right here on top of this. And I have my paper towel behind it to catch any off sprays. Takes both hands for me to push the sprayers down. Okay, there it comes out. It is giving it a little bit of a green hue. So I'm just using a few little spritzes. I don't know if you can see that on there. You can see a little bit of it. And we're going to do this. Just to spread out the liquid. And now I have that, which is really cool because this will be used in layers for tomorrow's project. Tomorrow's project will require some things to be layered, and that will look really cool. So let's get another piece of something over here. I have another envelope. It's already brown as well, so I just want to use some things to just kind of make it look different. And I think you're going to be the last one I use on this particular stamp, and I'm going to move on to another. See how you turn out on the envelope. I'm going to do both sides. Look at that. I just love that. I think that looks so cool. As a background, that is going to be amazing. Let's do the same on this. And by spraying your stamp and pressing it down like this, it's not quite as messy as getting ink all over your stamp. Okay, I think we might need... Nope, that pulled a lot of it off there. That looks really cool too. Alrighty. You might get layered in tomorrow's project too. Who knows? Okay. And I think I'm ready to switch gears here and try another stamp. So let's get some of it off here, and then I'll lay it to the side so it can be cleaned when I'm all done. Okay. We'll leave it like that, and then I'll come back and really wash it when I'm completely done with today's play. Okay, so I got that one in there. And most of the time these will, unless you use a permanent ink, the stuff will rinse right off your hands. All right. Let's try another coffee dye, and before I go and do another stamp, I'm going to just try spritzing a couple things here with the spritzes and the mica spray. So let's see, you can go in the pile of some done things, so we'll put you there. We'll put my two envelopes over there. My failures are over here to the side. They're not going in the success pile. Okay, and let's collect some of the extra on here. Did you catch I was trying to wipe those crumbs off there because it looked like crumbs on there, and they're not. Okay, let's try this green mica spray and see what we get. I got it, but I really have not used it that much, so I don't think look, I haven't even sprayed the thing. See if I can get this to, there we go. Get these spots here. Oh yeah. We'll spread that around a bit, use up some ink, and I'm going to blot off the extra ink onto my paper towel. And that gives it, I don't know if you'll be able to see it in this light, but that mica spray has just a slight shimmer to it. It really makes a beautiful, you really can't see it on camera very well. There you go. You can see a little bit there, shining, that green shining. That is just like super cool. Okay, and let's try one of my new spritzies over here. I have, let's see. Let's try Weathered Wood spritz, see how it comes out. It has more of a gray-blue color, I think. Weathered Wood, and it says, caution, may irritate eyes, avoid contact with eyes. And that's about it. Adult use only. Okay. See what we can do to get into this. Ah! I'll be right back. And I definitely, this is the first time I've ever done anything with the spritzes. And I'm going to guess they probably will have a little bit different spray to them. All right. In fact, I'm going to turn this over so you'll see once the spritz goes down, you'll be able to see the difference. That's it. Prior to spritzing, it only has a little bit of that green mica on there. And let's go with Weathered Wood. All right, Mr. Weathered Wood, come on and cooperate with spraying for me today. Here we go. Ooh, that is quite the darkness for this, but okay. Again, I'll probably blot some of it off with it being a tea bag. Let's just go ahead and blot that. Okay. Ooh, I like it after you blot the excess off. Doesn't that look really cool? I don't know if you can, it looks better laying down on there to where you can see it. Let me get the other side here. And again, the spritz has a bit of a glitter with it. I don't know if you call it glitter or shimmer, but it does have a bit of a shimmer to go with it. There we go. Okay, and one more little spritzy up here in the corner. Okay. Again, I'm going to use this corner to blot there and pick some of that up. And I'm going to use this other corner to blot some, to pick some up on it as well. So just move your stuff around to get whatever you would like to get on it and get the colors that you want. And now I have a blot a bit. Okay, now I've got this one. So that gives me two that will make some nice layering pieces for ephemera. And when this one, can you see the glimmery, shimmery stuff? Pretty cool, huh? Okay. Let's try some, do I want to try the antique linen and see what it comes out as? No. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to try just a little spritz of this little spray of this spritz on Mr. Pluto and see if that works. You got a little something on there. It doesn't belong. What it is, it's not the other oxidey things, so I don't know. Let's give him a spritz or two here, and then we'll blot some excess off and see how that looks. Come on. Told you I have a little issue with sprayers sometimes. It's the only bad thing about doing this. But I just love the technique. It gives so much that I have to try. Okay. This is walnut stain anyway. That's why it wasn't working. I didn't have the right sprayer. So let's try weathered wood. Well, that gave us some there. Again, I'm going to blot. I'm going to blot that before I go further so it doesn't soak it all up before I get it blotted. Oh, cool. Well, it looks like Pluto has the measles. So let's give the whole card a little spritzy. Okay, there we go. That's off of there. Yeah, not bad. And if I come along with a couple texture paints, that probably will look pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to put him over in the Dunny pile for now. And then I have another blue piece that I either want to use a very dark brown, like the Ground Espresso, not this one. Wrong piece, Miriam. Or the weathered wood blue, because it is a blue background. This is one of the pieces I covered for yesterday's video and we didn't get to it. So I'm just giving it a spritzy in the background for something different. And I think I'm also going to come along with a little tea dye and see what I get here. Or do I want frayed burlap? Let's give a little frayed burlap instead of tea dye. There we go. Blot it off. And we're going to move you to the done pile. Or at least till we get the other texture stamp up here. Okay. And now I'm going to do the same thing with my other texture stamp. Oh, that will not open like that. Okay, let's... You know what? Let's just lay it on here. Open this up to an empty spot. Or clean. Not really empty, is it? And we played with that one for a bit, so let's get my other texture stamp, or one of them, out here. And I'm going to spray it with something. What do we want to spray this one with? The light ones are probably not going to turn out a lot. Let's spray this one with the walnut spritz. There it goes. You're going to get a little different look with your walnut spray spritzes and the Distress Oxide. So I'm going to get some ink down on this from my spritz bottle here. Wow. So I only got a little of that. Let's try some Ground Espresso. I think it was a little easier for me to spray. want to get that one part right there. There we go. And up there. There we go. That is so much better. And let's come along with a tea bag here. Or let's start, yeah, let's do a tea bag and then we'll do the policy envelope. Get that out of my way so I can see what I'm doing here. And we came up with that. Pretty cool looking. Let's just go ahead and put some ink on the rest of it here. Okay. And maybe some down here on the bottom. Okay. And I'm going to give it another little spritzy spritz, and we're going to use the paper. That turned out pretty cool. It kind of gives it a circle-like look, and I figure if it were with the paper, we'll get a more definite pattern, I believe. Oh, come on. Here we go. Where is she spraying? Well, that's because I didn't use you. That's why I used you. Here we go. Yeah, that sprays much easier for me. In fact, it sprays really good. And look at my hands. My hands will probably look like this tomorrow. So, that's just how it is. All right. Let's get another envelope here that I have. I have this one, and I also have another one of my little policy envelopes. So let's just do this to start with. Oh, look how that turned out. Oh my gosh. I love it. I don't want it to look exactly like the front, so I'm going to put it partly down here just to get the excess off. Wow, look at that. I love it. I love it. Yes, I love it. Okay. And the back's just going to look just a bit grungy. Cool. That's just super cool. Super, super cool. And let's simply use a tea bag to pick up some more of this ink off of here. And I'm just pressing it in down around my stencil just to pick up whatever. In fact, I'm actually going to try something different to clean up my stencil. Rolling it in my paper towels, just gently. Just gonna press a bit, squeeze a bit. See what we come up with. Okay. So, get that off the stencil, which isn't too bad. Do we want to... We haven't yet tried the antique linen spray. Do we want to try a shot of that? If we can get it to spray. I wish this one would do better. Let's give it another. Maybe if I pump it a couple times, it'll work. Just gonna leave that there. Got a little bit out. A little bit more. It's trying. Ah, We got it. I just wasn't pressing down hard enough. So let's blot this off and put this with the other one that I need to clean over here on the side. And I'm just going to blot the excess onto another part of my tea bag. Yep. And so we have that. Not bad. Do we want to give it a little, let's see what else we have up here. We have speckled egg. Let's give it a little bit of speckly egg here. Come on. I use this in my label videos. So, oh, there we go. Not pressing hard enough. Now, I am spraying mine, but you could dribble them. You could hold it back further and spray them. You can really do these any way you choose. So, I've mainly done tea bags today, but that's okay. Now I have one that's got like a gray, speckly egg, kind of a light blue finish there. And I like that. Do we want to give a little bit of brindled sage too? Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Okay, now I could keep doing this for hours, but after a while I think you guys get bored watching me just spray things. So I just wanted to show you how you can use your different spritzes and sprays and your distress stamps and things to get different techniques on your pages, either tea bags or envelopes. I think our envelopes that we did, this one being one of them, turned out super duper cool. I think that one turned out really cool. I've got that there. And then I have all these tea bags that we did that still are damp and need to dry before I use them tomorrow. But it's warm enough here today, won't have any problem with them drying. And then I have this crinkly one that looks like I got chalk there on it, but I think it gives it a really cool effect. And then I have these other papers and tea bags here that I did. So I have more tea bag here. It just has some spritzy like stuff on there. I got that one. And I have that envelope. So that's what we come up with today. I hope that you watch my video and don't be afraid to use these sprays. Just experiment, see what you come up with, see what kind of cool effects you can get from them. And then you have some pretty neat pieces of paper or ephemera that you can use in your journals. So I hope you've enjoyed this today. I hope you come back and see what I have planned for tomorrow, which is some really cool really cool pieces of ephemera that we can make with the tea bags. We're going to use them in some layers of things. So you come back tomorrow and catch my next video. And you will have a wonderful evening. Bye for now, everyone. Would you hit stop? Can't get it turned off.